There comes a moment in life when you realize that the only limits that truly exist are the ones you've accepted. The difference between ordinary and unstoppable isn't talent, luck, or connections. It's the habits you build when no one's watching. Every great achiever you admire didn't wake up powerful. They trained their mind, body, and spirit daily until greatness became their natural state. If you want to become unstoppable, it starts with what you do every single day, the quiet disciplines that shape your destiny. These 7 habits will help you rise above excuses, silence fear, and step boldly into your purpose. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need applause to keep going. What you need is the decision to never quit on the version of yourself that you were born to become. Adopt these habits and watch how your ordinary days transform into a legacy of greatness. Rise with purpose, because how you begin your day determines how you live your life. Every morning is a blank page waiting for your story to be written. Some people wake up and drift through the day, reacting to whatever comes their way, while others rise with intention, clarity, and direction. The difference between the two is simple. Purpose. When you rise with purpose, you no longer live by accident. You live by design. You stop letting the world decide who you will be and start deciding for yourself. The morning is the most sacred part of your day. It's a quiet battlefield where your mind chooses between discipline and comfort. The moment you open your eyes, your thoughts start shaping your reality. If the first thing you do is grab your phone and scroll through distractions, you surrender your power before the day even begins. But when you rise, breathe, and speak life into your goals, you command your atmosphere. You align your actions with your vision. Winners don't just wake up to survive the day. They wake up to conquer it. Rising with purpose means knowing why you're getting out of bed. It's not about chasing success for appearance's sake. It's about answering the call that burns inside you. There's something you were created to do, a difference you were born to make. Each morning gives you another chance to step closer to that calling. You remind yourself that you are not here to waste time. You are here to make impact. The alarm clock isn't your enemy. It's your invitation to greatness. Purpose gives your mornings power. It transforms your routine from ordinary to extraordinary. When you rise with purpose, your energy shifts. You walk differently, think differently, and speak differently because you're connected to something greater than comfort. Comfort says, stay in bed. Purpose says, get up, there's work to do. Comfort whispers excuses. Purpose declares assignments. And when you live on assignment, every action becomes meaningful. Every task becomes sacred. It's not about how early you wake up. It's about how intentionally you wake up. Some people rise at dawn, but still live without direction. You could start your day at any hour, but if you don't start it with purpose, you'll drift aimlessly through it. Take those first moments of the morning and use them wisely. Pray, meditate, plan, visualize. Speak positive declarations over your life. Set the tone before the world sets it for you. Tell yourself who you are before doubt has a chance to whisper who you're not. There will be days when you don't feel like getting up, when your dreams seem far away, and your strength feels small. But that's when purpose matters most. Purpose gives you the push when motivation fades. It reminds you that your mission is bigger than your mood. When you rise with purpose, you don't chase feelings, you follow vision. You understand that the body follows where the mind leads, so you train your thoughts to lead you toward discipline, not distraction. Each sunrise is proof that God hasn't given up on you. It's another opportunity to move closer to your potential. When you open your eyes, remember that you're still here for a reason. There's something inside you the world still needs. You might have failed yesterday, but today is new. You might feel tired, but strength is renewed in purpose. Don't rise for money, fame, or applause. Rise for meaning. Rise because someone, somewhere, needs what you carry. When you rise with purpose, you begin to master your mornings. And when you master your mornings, you begin to master your life. Every sunrise becomes your starting line. Every step, every breath, every moment is another chance to create the life you were born to live. So don't just wake up, rise up. Stand tall, think bold, and move forward with intention. The world makes way for the person who knows where they're going. And it all begins the moment you decide to rise with purpose. Feed your mind daily, because your thoughts are the foundation of your destiny. What you think consistently becomes what you live continuously. The human mind is the most powerful tool ever created. It can build empires or destroy them, create miracles or magnify misery. But like any tool, it only performs at its best when it's properly maintained and fed. Just as your body needs food for energy, your mind needs nourishment for growth. Every day, you choose what to feed it: truth or toxicity, wisdom or waste, inspiration or fear. Whatever you feed your mind, that's what will grow. If you wake up and consume negativity, your day will be poisoned before it even begins. The news, social media, gossip, and complaining voices act like junk food for your thoughts. They fill you up, but leave you weak. You can't think clearly when your mind is cluttered with noise. You can't dream big when your thoughts are small. Feeding your mind daily means being intentional about what you allow in. It means choosing to read books that expand your vision, listen to voices that uplift your spirit, and surround yourself with ideas that challenge your limits. Greatness doesn't come from what you achieve. It comes from what you believe, and belief is built through repetition. Every time you read a powerful message, every time you listen to something that stirs your soul, you're planting seeds in your mental garden. Over time, those seeds grow into confidence, focus, and strength. The more you expose your mind to growth, the more your life begins to change. You start to think higher, act wiser, and speak bolder. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. Feeding your mind daily is a commitment to constant learning. The most successful people never stop being students. They understand that wisdom is infinite and that curiosity keeps the spirit alive. Even if you think you already know enough, life always has more to teach. A humble mind stays open. A proud mind closes itself off. When you feed your mind with knowledge, you're not just learning facts, you're developing perspective. You start to see the world differently, not as it is, but as it could be. Your mind becomes whatever you feed it. If you dwell on fear, you'll live in fear. If you focus on problems, you'll see nothing but obstacles. But if you feed it faith, courage, and gratitude, you'll start to notice opportunities where others see none. The mind is a magnet. It attracts what it continuously contemplates. That's why it's vital to fill it with light every single day. Don't let the world decide what you think. Decide it for yourself. Guard your mental gates as fiercely as you guard your dreams. There will be days when feeding your mind feels like a chore. You'll be tired, distracted, or discouraged. But those are the days you need it most, because your mind, when left unfed, starts feeding on fear by default. It replays past failures and doubts. That's why you must stay disciplined. Open that book, listen to that message, write down your goals, meditate, or pray. Even 10 minutes of focused input can shift your entire mindset. The smallest daily habit done consistently compounds into mental strength. When you feed your mind daily, you begin to transform your reality. You start speaking differently because your thoughts are different. You start walking with confidence because your mind is anchored in truth, not insecurity. Every word, every idea, every thought you choose to absorb is either building you or breaking you. Choose growth, choose positivity, choose wisdom. Don't let your environment feed you junk and expect your spirit to thrive. Be selective, be intentional. Your mind is the control center of your destiny. What you allow to enter it will determine what flows out of your life. So feed it power, feed it peace, and feed it purpose every single day. Practice gratitude, not complaint, because the attitude you choose determines the atmosphere you live in. Life isn't about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to what happens. You can't control every event, but you can control your perspective. Gratitude shifts that perspective from lack to abundance, from frustration to faith, from fear to peace. When you choose gratitude, you refuse to let negativity have power over your spirit. You start seeing blessings where others see burdens. You begin to realize that every challenge carries a hidden gift, and every delay hides a divine purpose. The truth is, complaining drains your energy, while gratitude multiplies it. Every time you complain, you give your power to the problem. You magnify what's wrong instead of strengthening what's right. Complaints are like anchors. They keep you tied to the same situation, unable to move forward. But gratitude is a sail. It catches the wind of possibility and propels you toward breakthrough. When you practice gratitude daily, you don't just change how you feel, you change how life responds to you. Because life gives more to those who appreciate what they already have. Gratitude isn't just saying thank you when things are good, it's saying thank you even when they're not. It's easy to be grateful when you're winning, but true power is being thankful in the waiting. Gratitude turns pain into wisdom and loss into lessons. It teaches you to see the beauty in imperfection and the strength in struggle. When you start thanking life for the small things, your breath, your health, your loved ones, your opportunities, you open the door for bigger blessings to enter. The moment you stop taking the simple things for granted, you begin to live from a place of abundance. Every complaint is a declaration that what you have isn't enough. But every word of gratitude declares that you are already blessed. That shift in mindset changes everything. Gratitude elevates your vibration. It aligns your spirit with positivity and peace. It makes you magnetic to more goodness. Complaining, on the other hand, repels it. When you complain, you focus on what's missing, and the universe mirrors that energy by showing you more of what you lack. Gratitude works in reverse. It amplifies what's already working and invites more of it into your life. The mind is powerful, but it follows the direction you give it. If you constantly speak about what's wrong, your brain will look for evidence to support that story. But when you speak gratitude, your brain begins searching for proof of what's right. It's not about denying reality. It's about choosing which part of reality to magnify. There will always be storms, but gratitude teaches you to dance in the rain instead of cursing the clouds. It reminds you that no matter how hard things get, there's always something to be thankful for. Always a reason to keep believing. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean you ignore pain or pretend everything is perfect. It means you acknowledge the pain but still choose peace. You recognize the problem but still see the possibility. It's an act of strength, not denial. Every time you give thanks in difficulty, you declare that your faith is stronger than your frustration. Gratitude keeps your spirit steady when circumstances shake. It builds resilience, patience, and hope. So start small. Write down 3 things every morning that you're thankful for. Speak appreciation to people instead of criticism. Replace "I have to" with "I get to." These simple shifts create powerful change. The more you practice gratitude, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you'll reach a point where gratitude is your default, not because life is perfect, but because you've learned to see the perfection in life. When you live in gratitude, you rise above complaint. You stop waiting for more to feel happy and start feeling happy with what's already yours. That's when peace becomes your power and joy becomes your strength. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it's a decision. And when you decide to live in it daily, you become untouchable by negativity and unstoppable in purpose. Stay disciplined when motivation fades, because motivation is temporary. But discipline is what keeps dreams alive when emotions disappear. There will be mornings when the fire you once felt isn't there anymore, when the excitement that used to drive you now feels distant. That's when most people stop. They wait for the feeling to return, not realizing that feelings are fleeting, but purpose is constant. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the silent power that separates those who wish from those who win. Motivation is emotional. It's sparked by excitement, success, or inspiration. But discipline is spiritual. It's born from conviction. It's the voice that says, I will keep going even when I don't feel like it. Discipline doesn't rely on moods, energy, or convenience. It relies on decision. The disciplined person understands that consistency beats intensity. You don't have to be perfect every day. You just have to keep showing up. Every act of discipline deposits strength into your character. Every time you push through resistance, you train your mind to obey your vision instead of your feeling. When motivation fades, discipline reminds you why you started. It's the reminder that you made a promise to yourself, a promise not to quit when it gets uncomfortable. Discipline means doing what you said you'd do long after the mood you said it in has left you. It's not glamorous, and it's not easy. It's early mornings, late nights, and quiet sacrifices that no one sees. It's turning off distractions, ignoring excuses, and choosing progress over pleasure. Discipline doesn't give you instant results, but it builds the foundation that success stands on. The truth is, everyone is motivated at the beginning. Starting is easy, sustaining is hard. The gym feels exciting for the first week. The business idea feels thrilling for the first month. The dream feels alive when it's new. But what happens when the excitement fades, when progress slows, and when no one is cheering? That's when discipline becomes your greatest ally. Discipline doesn't care about applause. It doesn't need validation. It simply does the work because the work must be done. Discipline is not about punishment. It's about alignment. It's about aligning your actions with your purpose, even when it hurts. Your future self depends on the choices you make now. Every disciplined act is an investment in that future version of you, stronger, wiser, more capable. You can't become who you're meant to be by doing only what feels good. Growth always demands discomfort. Discipline is the muscle that carries you through that pain and turns it into progress. When you stay disciplined, you build trust with yourself. You prove that you are reliable, that your word means something. Self-trust is the real confidence, not arrogance, not pride, but the quiet assurance that you can depend on you. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen that confidence. Every time you break one, you weaken it. Discipline is not just about productivity. It's about integrity. It's about becoming the kind of person who finishes what they start. There will be days when you fail, when your body says stop and your mind screams quit. But discipline doesn't demand perfection. It demands persistence. When you fall, you get back up. When you feel tired, you rest but don't quit. When you lose motivation, you remind yourself that commitment is greater than comfort. The reward always belongs to those who endure. Staying disciplined when motivation fades is what builds champions, leaders, and visionaries. It's what turns potential into performance. Discipline will do for you what motivation never could. It will carry you through seasons of struggle and make you unstoppable. Because when you master discipline, you no longer need to wait for the perfect moment. You create it. You act. You move forward regardless of how you feel. That's when you discover that success was never about being motivated. It was about being consistent. Speak vision, not doubt, because your words shape the reality you live in. Every sentence you speak is a seed, and those seeds grow into the experiences that surround you. If you speak fear, you'll live in fear. If you speak failure, you'll walk in defeat. But when you speak vision, when you declare the future you see in your spirit, even before it manifests, you activate power. You align your mind, your faith, and your actions toward that vision. Words are not empty sounds. They are forces that create movement in the unseen. That's why the most powerful thing you can ever do is train your tongue to speak life, not limitation. Doubt is the language of fear. Vision is the language of faith. Doubt looks at what is and says, "It's impossible." Vision looks at what could be and says, "It's only a matter of time." Doubt shrinks dreams down to fit comfort zones. Vision stretches your capacity to match your calling. Every great accomplishment began as a word, a declaration spoken in faith by someone who refused to let doubt have the last say. When you speak vision, you are not describing your current circumstances. You are prophesying your future reality. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack belief in their own words. They speak negativity so often that it becomes their truth. You can't say, "I'm not good enough," every day and expect to live confidently. You can't keep saying, "I'll never make it," and still hope for success. What you repeatedly speak, you eventually believe, and what you believe, you become. That's why it's essential to speak vision, even when your situation doesn't match it. Your words have to lead your life before your life catches up to your words. Speaking vision doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to let reality dictate your faith. You acknowledge the facts, but declare a greater truth. You might be struggling now, but you speak abundance. You might feel weak, but you speak strength. You might be waiting, but you speak victory. You train your tongue to agree with your purpose, not your problems. Because the more you talk about fear, the more fear grows. The more you talk about faith, the more your courage expands. The tongue has creative power. It builds worlds or burns them down. Choose to build. When you speak vision, your energy changes. You start walking with intention. You begin to attract opportunities that align with what you've declared. The world responds to bold voices. Confidence draws favor, but hesitation repels it. Every time you speak doubt, you send mixed signals to your destiny. One moment you say you want success. The next you say it's too hard. Vision requires consistency. Your mouth, your mind, and your movement must all agree. Speak with conviction, even when you can't see results yet. Faith talks like it's already done. There will always be voices around you that try to silence your vision. People will project their fears onto your dreams. But remember, their doubt is not your truth. Protect your language from their limitations. You can't speak power if you're always repeating the words of the powerless. Be intentional with what leaves your lips. Every day, declare what you're building, not what you're battling. Speak about where you're going, not where you've been. Speaking vision doesn't just inspire others. It reprograms your own subconscious mind. The more you speak success, the more your brain starts working to make it happen. You start seeing solutions instead of obstacles, possibilities instead of problems. Your words set your focus, and your focus shapes your future. So keep speaking vision when it's hard. Speak it when you're tired. Speak it when nothing around you makes sense. Your words are writing your story long before your actions finish it. Don't waste that power on doubt. Speak what you believe until you see what you've spoken, because the moment your words align with your purpose, nothing in the world can stop what's coming. Surround yourself with growth-minded people, because the company you keep will either elevate you or limit you. Your environment is not just a background, it's a blueprint shaping your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. You can have dreams as big as mountains, but if you walk with people who think small, you'll start shrinking to fit their comfort zone. Growth-minded people breathe life into your vision. They challenge you, stretch you, and remind you who you are when the world tries to make you forget. They don't just clap for your success, they help you build it. The truth is, we all become like the people we spend the most time with. Energy is contagious, attitudes transfer. If you're constantly around people who complain, doubt, and settle, you'll start mirroring that energy without even realizing it. But when you surround yourself with people who speak vision, pursue excellence, and refuse to give up, their fire lights yours. Growth-minded people see your potential even when you can't see it yourself. They hold you accountable to your greatness. They won't let you quit because they know quitting isn't who you are. The difference between staying stuck and moving forward often comes down to who's in your circle. Some people keep you comfortable, others push you to grow. Comfort feels safe, but it breeds stagnation. Growth feels uncomfortable, but it produces transformation. You can't reach your next level while clinging to relationships that keep you at your current one. Growth requires separation. It means sometimes walking away from negativity, gossip, and people who mock ambition because it exposes their own lack of drive. Choosing your circle wisely isn't arrogance, it's alignment. Surrounding yourself with growth-minded people doesn't mean everyone around you must be successful, it means they must be hungry. You need people who are willing to learn, to fail, and to keep moving forward. You need friends who talk about purpose, not just problems. People who celebrate effort as much as achievement. Growth-minded individuals don't fear correction or competition. They thrive on collaboration and improvement. They don't just dream of better, they work for it. When you walk with people who think higher, your standards naturally rise. You begin to think differently. Conversations become deeper, ideas become bigger, and excuses become smaller. The right circle will make you uncomfortable in the best way. They'll call you out when you're slacking and push you when you're scared. They'll remind you that mediocrity is not your home. Growth-minded people don't let you play small. They demand the version of you that's bold, disciplined, and focused. Sometimes your growth will isolate you before it connects you. You might go through a season of loneliness when you start raising your standards, but that's not a loss, it's preparation. The wrong people will drift away when you stop entertaining negativity, and the right ones will appear when you start walking in purpose. Every time you level up, your circle will shift. Don't fear that change, it's proof that you're evolving. The people you keep close should add value to your life, not drain it. They should challenge your thinking, encourage your faith, and inspire your discipline. You deserve to be around those who see your greatness as normal, not surprising. Growth-minded people don't compete with you. They complete the vision by pushing you to your highest potential. Together, you sharpen each other, you grow stronger, and you build something lasting. So look around your circle and ask yourself, are these people pushing me forward or holding me back? Are they speaking life or spreading doubt? Your environment will either fuel your destiny or suffocate it. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with dreamers who do more than talk. People who act, build, and believe. Because when your circle is right, your direction becomes clear, your focus becomes strong, and your growth becomes unstoppable.